Hello, one and all, and welcome to episode 205 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, coming to you live from YouTube for the benefit of, well, for those of you who are watching live, thank you very much for sticking around from the previous episode that we just did. I am going to go over onto the tablet, and as yet, nothing seems to be happening. Okay, I think we are coming through. We must be coming through because I've had two comments. First comment today goes to Angela. Hi there, everyone, again. Hello, Angela. I'm so pleased that these comments aren't being chewed up. And Lisbeth says, yes, I knew it was going to be Twilly. Well done if you guessed it. Love the original, says Ali. Henda says, hello from Tunis. Right, so those of you who've worked it out, this is what we're doing. I've already dropped a few hints because I said it's the second flanker to this. So we are going to be smelling in a few moments the new Eau Ginger of Twilly D'Hermes. If you remember, I think it was in 2017 that we had the original Twilly, which is over here. They're composed by Christine Nagel, who is in-house perfumer at Hermes, of course. Then a couple of years after that, we had the Eau Poivrée version, and now we have got Eau Ginger. I have no idea if this was originally meant to be a 2020 release. I don't know, and I suppose somebody in the brand must know, but they're not going to be telling us. I think Eau Poivrée is the most masculine. Is it? I keep saying Poivrée. It is Poivrée. Now, Twilly made quite an impact, and just the fact that it's now on its second flanker would suggest that it's doing extremely well and that Hermes feel that it's a line worth developing. I personally am very, very pleased. Pleasantly surprised. I mean, this is going to sound terribly, terribly cynical, but I actually thought that the original Twilly was a little bit too clever to do well. And that's maybe a terrible thing to say, but I'm so glad that I was proved wrong. Twilly, in a way, well, actually, let's smell the original. I haven't smelled the original for a while, but it would be good to. We won't do Poivrée today. There's a whole video that I've done on Eau Poivrée. I did it a couple of years ago, and for some reason, it's one of my most watched videos. I think it's in my top 10 videos. So maybe it just came out at the right time. I don't know. I shall try to link to it. Let's get the original out. It's a very legible. Very distinct, clear structure of ginger, tuberose, and sandalwood, and yet it seemed to have something new to say. It seemed to go really well with the concept of the Twilly scarves. Twilly put tuberose back into the mainstream, says Woozy. Yes, the tuberose definitely had a moment then, didn't it? I prefer the Eau Poivrée. Don't know how I feel about this one yet, says Lisbeth. Have you tried it? And yeah, it is tuberosy without being excessively dramatic like Fracas or Carnal Flower. Of course, we love those for being excessively dramatic, but this was kooky and quirky and playful and almost nonchalant and really, really bright. The ginger wasn't obvious, but it gave it real fizz, real sparkle, and the sandalwood note didn't kind of like hit you over the head with really, really crass synthetic-y sandalwood notes. It just worked. It really worked. And the Eau Poivrée was very, very successful as well. Is Twilly Elena or Nagel, says Woozy? No, these are all Christine Nagel creations. She started the line for the brand. So let's check this one out. They've changed the little bowler hat, which I think is a cute touch. I have smelt this just once before. I did an initial spray and I thought, okay, let's just save it for a video. I must confess, with my initial spray, I thought, oh, okay, are they just kind of taming it a little bit? Are they toning it down? Are they maybe sort of trying to do the lightest version of the Twillys? Maybe trying to appeal to a more overtly mainstream clientele. Super cute bottles, says JR Solo. Yes, even the bottles work. I mean, it's a simple design, but just that contrast between the cube and the bowler hat is great, isn't it? It's simple and yet effective. Yeah, see, this one certainly initially is the least striking of the three, it has to be said. It's meant to be, I think, according to the brand, the most pop inflected, so the most pop arty, the most juvenile, without putting a sort of value judgment on that. But I think the thing that I just found a little bit dismaying on the initial sniff was that it seems to make quite a heavy reliance on what we call, and lots of other people call, shampoo musks. So musks that we've come across maybe one time too many. Surprised there isn't a tuberose in the Hermescence line, says Woozy. No, there isn't actually in there. Maybe Nagel should do one. And also, I know it's called Eau Ginger, but I don't get a particularly pronounced, legible, distinctive ginger. I mean, I get the feeling of ginger, I get the vibe of ginger, so I get fizziness and light, sparkle and exuberance, but not actual ginger. Ginger has got such a distinctive personality, so it seems to be kind of, to me, ginger is sort of, it's very yellow for a start, but it also seems to be like fizzing roots, effervescent roots. So it's got a kind of earthiness to it. It's got a rootiness, and yet it is like they're fizzing, like somebody's putting one of those effervescent tablets into water. This is for the Japanese market from your description, in my opinion, says Gavin. It may be, and Gavin's also saying the white cap and the colour of the Twilly make me think it might be for the Asian market. But, brands do that sort of thing, and if it's made for a particular taste or a particular sensibility, there's nothing wrong with that. Different cultures, different markets do have different tastes. But, this is absolutely nothing less than very pleasant. But, when I go back to the original, just the fact that tuberose is present enough in the original to give it just that bit of an edge and a bit of distinctiveness and make it, I suppose, again, coming back to that word I've used a few times already, just playful. It seems to have a cheekiness. It seems to have an insouciance to it, whereas this is just a bit plainer. It's just simpler, I think. And maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe they thought that the pepper took the first flanker a little bit out there, and so they wanted to tone it down. We've got a press release, and I will get to your comments in a moment. If you have tried it, I would love to know what you think of it. The press release is very brief, you will be relieved to know. In fact, it's only just a few paragraphs. So it says, Twilly Eau Ginger is the third to join the Twilly D'Hermes tribe. A new Twilly with the same rule of 3 for the Hermes girls. 1 for the tribe, 2 for boldness, 3 for attitude. Yeah, see, this one doesn't really have attitude. This time, it's the youngest of the family that stands out. Okay. Like her older sisters, she combines character with whimsy, but true to herself, she pushes boundaries and dares to try anything with unwavering joie de vivre. Twilly Eau Ginger is a flash of radiance, a vision of the Hermes girls in peals of laughter. Are these peals of laughter? They're more like serene smiles, I think. Yesterday they were mischievous, then spicy, and today they are joyful, bright, and sparkling. Mischievous is a good word for the first one, actually. And now they're joyful, bright, and sparkling. Nearly. They could have just been a bit more joyful, I think. Their evident and contagious joy is captured in a new creation by Christine Nagel, which also answers to a rule of 3. Twilly Eau Ginger weaves together 3 materials: a generous and vibrant peony, a vivid candied ginger, and a supple, lively cedar. Now, peony is one of these flowers that's interesting because you can make almost any kind of vaguely generic, on the side of sweet, rosy floral note and say it's peony. Things like sweet pea are in the same kind of ballpark, freesia. So is this a peony? Yeah, I suppose it could be a peony, but candied ginger. Maybe that's another issue that I've got with it. Maybe the fact that it's just a little bit too sweet. This dazzling creation exudes sunshine and joyful energy. Inside its box, printed with the Astrologie Nouvelle design, reworked in fresh colours, sits the Twilly Eau Ginger bottle, tied with a new silk ribbon and topped with a brilliant white cap. In this sparkling brightness, faces light up, smiling and free to express the impertinence and freshness of this new Twilly D'Hermes, one that turns everything on its head. You know, I hadn't pre-read this. I never really pre-read them, or if I have, I tell you. But it's saying a brilliant white cap. Now, colour reproduction on these things isn't fantastic, but this isn't actually brilliant white. This is almost like a sort of chalky white. It's almost like heading in the direction of ivory white. And I think that sums up what you need to know about the perfume, because the perfume is this white as opposed to a really, really super bright, you know, sun bouncing, pure brilliant white. So I guess they have achieved what they wanted to achieve. Even the colouring, I mean, the colouring I think is coming through from the base of the bottle. This colouring was very, very appropriate for the flanker. So it's fine. You know, Nagel is too talented and too skilled a perfumer to make something that is substandard, subpar. But I think, as some of you have been saying, it fulfills a purpose. So what are you saying, though? The packaging is first rate, says Kim. Lisbeth says, yes, we have it in the shop I work at. At first, the soapiness hit me the wrong way the first time, but I've grown to tolerate, and I like it, I think. Interesting. Lots of love the bottle, love the bottle. And what else have we got? Leona, thank you very much for the comment. That's very sweet. Ledleb says, hello to you, Persolaise, and everyone tuned in from India. Where in India? You have to say where in India. Hope everyone's being safe. Absolutely. Uden Bergamot was substandard, says Woozy. Ashwak says, I missed your take on that super expensive Kashmiran bomb, my liege. We'll watch it later. Okay. Yana Ilova says, Rich Mitch. Oh, no, hang on. Wrong comment. Marketing to a younger audience, says Lynn Leglaire. Does that mean my nose is anosmically challenged? Lol. No, it just means you have slightly different tastes. And as Woozy says, so no tuberose. Well, no, not obviously tuberose. Yeah, it's just a little bit too northern India, not very far from Himalaya, says Ledleb. I have very, very fond memories of going to Haridwar and Rishikesh. But I suppose if you're saying not far from the Himalayas, then you're maybe a little bit more north than that. I seem to remember that Haridwar, Rishikesh were kind of like the sort of the start of the Ganges, right? Anyway, I hope you're safe. So yeah, no major issues, but it's not going to be on my list of the best perfumes of the year, I don't think. Please try. I'm a bit more north, Punjab province, says Ledleb. Okay, thank you. Please try to tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time for another live interview, this time with none other than Francesca Bianchi. So start thinking of some questions for her. I gather she's a very, very interesting interview subject. And also stay tuned to social media for details of more videos coming up. We are again coming to the end of another season. I will try to get through as many videos as possible before the end of July. But then I think we're going to sort of say that we'll have a great big extended break in August, but then, you know, the best laid plans, etc., etc. So hope to see you soon. Take care. Thank you very much for watching.